This week's show brought to you by Roosters, a fun casual joint. Frank Shoup, Georgetown's big name in cars.
Welcome everybody to the Scott County Cardinals Lady Cardinals News Graphic Coaches Show, the girls basketball edition, as we are into, by the end of this week, the beginning of February, and that means district tournament time, region tournament time, and hopefully on to states in March. But first things first, had a busy week last week as the Lady Cards wrapped up another road swing. They came home for the Toyota Classic after a month on the road, and they had two road games back-to-back nights at Henry Clay and at Grant County. And Scott County ran into something they hadn't seen much of this year. We've talked about teams in the past making SC play a half-court game. This was even more than that. Both teams won the opening tap and then held on to the ball for a minute, making Coach Helton think it was going to be a little bit of a slowdown tactic against his team to try to keep the Lady Cards from hitting the three-pointers and getting out in transition the way they like to. It didn't work in either case. In fact, it really didn't work at Henry Clay as Scott County put 67 points on the board in the first half alone on the way to a 90-50 victory. And then at Grant County, ran up another 20-5 lead in the first quarter. Once Scott County made a couple of shots, got a couple of steals, it sort of shook those opponents out of any intention they had of slowing it down. And maybe they did and maybe they didn't, but certainly it looked early in the game like that was going to be the tactic, and something that the Lady Cards have to pay attention to down the road as teams will try different things to stop a team that has a lot of momentum right now. 11 consecutive wins. They have moved up in the polls and the rankings every time you turn around. Now featured in the top 5 in a couple of those ranking systems. So 21-2 overall. And looking forward to a couple of games this week as they get back home finally. Thursday night, February 1st, they'll take on Bryan Station. That's the beginning of seeing them, the Lady Defenders, twice in 1 week, as that will wrap up the 42nd district schedule. One win by Scott County will sew up the #1 seed in the playoffs. So a game they can't look past on Thursday, even though Bryan Station has a losing record. And another team that has a sub-500 mark is Boone County, but Scott County will be going up there on Friday night, and that won't be an easy test either, as we've seen on the boys' side and on the girls' side a little bit as well. When you go to a different region, different officials, different style of play, never quite know what's going to happen. So that'll be an interesting end to the week. And then it will turn around with mostly home games the rest of the way. Is only a couple more weeks to the regular season here, as SC coming up quickly on the playoffs, which they're looking forward to. After a little bit of an early exit last year, 11th region, they made it to the semifinals, but it was kind of a building year. I think everybody knew that this group coming back with Peyton Riddle, Malia Owens, Morgan DeFore, and so many other pieces falling into place, Juliet Smith coming back from the injury. It is a promising group heading to the postseason. We spoke with Coach Helton about those and many other issues. The team actually had 8 days off after the Grant County game going into the Bryan Station game. That's been a rare treat, as mostly been playing a lot of two times in 3 nights, 3 times in 4 nights, or in the case of the Toyota Classic, 3 consecutive nights. But we kind of asked Coach Helton what he did to keep himself occupied. You know, he had to watch a lot of film and spend some time with the family, but as of course we know, his family's so basketball oriented. I'm sure it was a strange situation for him. Let's see what Coach Helton had to say about the week that has passed and looking forward to the games ahead.
The girls had a week off, but basketball wasn't far from everyone's mind.
You know, I wish I could tell you. It's all kind of it's like a blur, because you
just went to a tournament for, you know.
Colton played in Indiana, so we went to Indiana and played in a big tournament up there and took in a Pacers game while we're there. And you know, it was a good break for us all. I mean, Terry and I came in and did a lot of laundry. You know, we had to get caught up from all the games we've been having, and really just a few nights at home. I believe we went home after school on Thursday, and we were trying to figure out, you know, what do we do now? You know, we don't have practice. But I thought the kids, you know, the student body, you think about it, 90% of them go home after school, or they go to work. And our kids every day have practice, film, game. So it's great for them to get to be a kid during the middle of the season, you know, or, you know, toward the end of the season. So, you know, I felt like the timing could not have worked out any better. as far as so many games in January on the road, so many emotional games in January. And so our kids, the schedule for one time, it worked out that our timing is we need to get some time off for rest, mentally and physically, and then come back, and we still have 4 days of good preparation before we come back to Run Station.
Players and families enjoyed the time away, but it was business as usual for Coach Helton.
We're in the hotel. We get to the hotel Friday night in Indy, and Colton and Tara went to the pool, and they're like, when are you going to the pool? And I'm like, I've got film. And we had film exchanges going on. I was trying to get film for Boone County. I was trying to get film for next week's games. And then I had people calling me for film. So they're like, well, are you going to the pool? And I'm like, we'll go to the pool tomorrow, or I'll be down to the pool tomorrow. And so they got to enjoy some pool time, and we got to work on preparation for the rest of this week and next week. But again, it's great for the kids. I keep stressing because there's a lot of pressure on those young ladies. You know, on top of what we put on them, you know, every day in practice and games. You know, they expectations are high, no matter how much you downplay it.
They're getting higher.
They are getting higher, and you know, and we're trying to keep it as, you know, day by day, do our job. But you know, they get it, they hear it, they know. We don't ever talk about rankings. They know the rankings. Their parents are excited, the community's excited, and they should be. You know, I don't know if anybody else has boys and girls teams ranked in the top 5. I don't know if that's, you know, I've not looked into it enough, but it's an exciting point. I want to be excited. I want to be, you know, into that thought process of, wow, you know, we can do some special things. Now, you know, we still have regular season, we still have to get through. We still have 2 more district games that are going to be big for us. We still have 2 more road games. One of those being a district game, and then you know, we're down to 21 days. You know, 21 days from now, first round district tournament. From the time we film this, in 3 weeks, somebody's going home. And so, as much fun as this is, as much time that we've needed, you know, to have a little break, you know, business is going to pick up quick, and it already has picked up. We've had 2 good days of practice, and you know, we're still battling some nagging injuries, because the season is a grind. I mean, the physicality, our practices this year, we have really, you know, I don't want to say I'm going back to the old days when, you know, UK football, you know, when they did the air raid, and I don't want Guy Morris, but I went blank. He brought the Hal Mummy. I believe Hal Mummy, they didn't do no tackling drills. And of course, they got lit up, you know, but they outscored it. Well, they outscored a few people. They didn't outscore everybody. And we've really lightened up on our contact in practice this year, and you know, so far it's been beneficial. So I'm hoping that we continue that. But we still got some nagging injuries that we're trying to heal to the best of our ability while we have some time.
Henry Clay and Grant County tried early stalling tactics against Scott County, but the Lady Cards changed the tempo in a hurry.
Years and years ago, I want to say probably at least 15 years ago, we went to South Oldham. We came in, we were getting ready, we were going to spend the all night. We already knew we were going to stay all night because we played the next day in Louisville. And we played South Oldham, and Frank Wright came in from Indiana, didn't know him as a coach, and they came out in a 4-corner stall. And I believe I about lost my mind because not only did it work for about a quarter, I was in panic that everybody in the state from here on out, they're going to come out in a 4-corner, you know, they're going to 4-corner stall on us, and you know, play 8-6 or 10-8 or 10-4, whatever it is, you know. And I was just pulling hair, and you know, we got to go lead the other night, and I don't even know Henry Clay. You know, we came out, I don't know if we scored for the first couple minutes, and you know, they were very, very happy just run their offense. So it's something that, you know, it's on the top of our board every night. We need to control the tempo. That's just how we do it. In order to do that, you got to jump on teams. You got to jump on them early. You got to set the pace. You know, in football, you talk about that first hit. You come off line of scrimmage, it's that first hit. Well, in basketball, you come off that first 4 minutes of that game, you set the pace, you set the tempo, and you make the other team adjust. And, you know, really good starts. Both nights against Henry Clay, really good start against Grant County, which I was worried about being a trap game. But wow, I couldn't have been happier with 2 really big wins in both games on the road.
Scott County fought fire with fire and scored 67 points in the first half against Henry Clay.
You know, a district game, and Henry Clay has the athletes, they have the coaching. You know, they're a dangerous team. You know, they just come off a win of Lafayette, you know, a couple nights ago. And the thing about it is, you know, we'll probably have to see them again, and we could have to see them 2 more times. You know, if we were to see them a 4th time, that would mean both teams have had success in the regional tournament. But a very dangerous team because they are so athletic. They are so they match up with us athletically. We do have a little more size, we have a little more depth, and again, it's all about tempo. We want to make the other team feel uncomfortable, and sometimes we do, and sometimes we do it after halftime. But eventually, you know, our hope is that we'll eventually wear on teams, and you know, there's a breaking point at some point during games. There's a breaking point, and you know, the 2 games we have lost, especially the Centerville game, we never pushed them out of their comfort zone. Not 1 possession, I don't think. And so it's something we're really pounding coming into this last 3 weeks of the season, regular season.
The Lady Cards haven't lost a game since their trip to Ohio in December.
I'm sure that film is out and about, and I guarantee that Centerville tape has been, I'd say it's been recorded more times than you would say, because, you know, you look at that score and that's just not the way we play, and that game, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. And the good thing about it is that game was in December, so we're in February almost.
2 games with Bryan Station will wrap up the 42nd district schedule.
Bryan Station, new coach. You know, we talked about this a while back. You know, Coach Hall comes in here brand new from a couple of different stops. His last stop was at Estill County, trying to install a new offense, a new style of play for Bryan Station. You know, we're on the road here in just a few minutes to go watch them play, and they present some challenges. They're athletic, and I think probably the biggest challenge is their unpredictability, because we don't know them as well. We don't know Coach Hall's philosophy, his style to the T yet. You know, of course, we're going to play twice in a week, so we're going to get to know each other pretty well. But it'll be a district game. That's what's on our mind. This is a district game. We're excited to be back home. You know, we've not been back home since Simon Kenton and the Toyota Classic. And then, you know, short turnaround time, go to Boone County, new coach as well. You know, he was excited about getting this on the schedule. Boone County, traditional powerhouse, you know, 9th region. In years past, we've not fared too well in the 9th region. So, again, 2 games we need to come out early, 2 games we need to come out and pedal to the metal and just rip and run as fast as we can and get the game in our tempo, because I feel pretty confident saying I don't think neither team wants to run, neither team wants to score in the 90s like we do, and it's going to be a good challenge for us.
All right, that was Coach Helton, and he, of course, cautiously optimistic. Yeah, you feel good about the win streak that the Lady Cards are on, but you know that A, you're going to get everybody's best battle. You're going to get the bullseye on your back, so to speak, and B, it's just so many different tactics, whether a team wants to slow you down, whether a team wants to go zone, whether a team wants to just kind of goad you into a physical half-court game. You're going to see a little bit of everything here as we get into February and March, and that's where SC will have to be at its best every night if it wants to reach its ultimate goals. We talked about players filling their roles on this team, and we spoke to a couple this week that have done that in abundance this year. The senior, Lexi Hoffman, one of many seniors on this team, and not a lot of them get a ton of playing time, but she's taken advantage of her opportunities on the court in that second 5 group that has done so much and been so successful here in winning streak as of late. And also the freshman, Kennedy Tompkins, only her 2nd year playing organized basketball, so that's obviously been a challenge, but a lot of athletic ability there, a lot of exuberance and aggression, and she brings a lot of fun to the team. Let's see what Lexi and Kennedy had to say about the way things are going for the Lady Cards.
The Lady Cards enjoyed the time off after an undefeated January.
Yeah, it's been real nice because we've been back-to-back games and everything. It's been a little tiring.
I think it's really needed because when we have all those games, we need all the rest that we can get so we can keep on playing better.
Scott County is confident, but not overconfident after its recent streak of wins.
Just working as a team and everything really helps out, and like trusting each other, just being a team.
We just need to keep working hard. Every time we get a win, we don't need to let it get to our head, and we just need to keep moving.
Kennedy's game has taken off in her freshman season.
Well, since Lauren left, I feel like I had to step up a lot more because I know the team's going to expect me to rebound and everything when, like, Malaya's not in or Z's not in, so I feel like I have, like, a bigger part this year than I did last year.
Tompkins is still relatively new to organized basketball.
I think because over the summer and stuff, I worked out and I've just been, like, actually, like, focusing more on the game and everything because this is my second year playing basketball. Coach Wilson at the middle school kept asking me, like, as soon as I came to 6th grade, he kept asking me every year, and I was like, I don't know. And so my 8th grade year, I was like, so I'll just try it again. Might as well.
Recent wins have been a battle of wills as Scott County has been forced to get its opponents to play faster.
We need to play at our own pace because if we play at their pace, then they're controlling the game. We need to make sure that we control our tempo and we don't let them get into our heads.
The Lady Cards' winning streak is their longest since 2010, and this team would like to follow that team's lead to the state final.
We have a lot of potential to get there, like to get to state and everything, so I think this is a big deal to like.
I'm trying to just take it all in. Coach even told us yesterday, he was like, just take in every moment that you have on the court. You never know when it could be your last. But I think we have so much talent on this team that we could take it all the way.